And we are live. What's good, people? It's your man DLC, man. I'm back with you. I know we just did a show not even an hour ago. As you guys know, I'm an avid football fan. I'm from Cincinnati. I'm a huge Cincinnati Bengals fan. Cincinnati Bengals are playing the Buffalo Bills in a big game. It is just a game. It's just a game. It's a big game to determine playoff spots and contentions and stuff like that. Well, during the game, there was a play involving one of the Cincinnati Bengals receivers. Made a good play. There was a tackle. The defensive man who initiated the tackle was Damar Hamlin, defensive back for the Buffalo Bills. This 24-year-old young man went to college in Pittsburgh. Central Catholic High School, 6 feet, 24 years old. And it was a very serious injury occurred on the field. It didn't look bad. It's kind of one of those things you just go out there. It did not look bad. It's like a normal tackle. But actually, Damar made the hit, got up, looked like he took a step or so and he collapsed. Trainers come out to see to him, make sure he's okay. At some point, they bring the backboards out and they bring out all the medical gear they need to help people with injuries. And when we see injuries like this, we normally think of, paralysis or something like maybe broken bones or something like this. And then they took commercials. When they came back from the commercial, there was an ambulance on the field. All of the players on both sides, the Bengals and the Bills, all of the players were distraught. These men were visibly crying. I've never seen anything like it at the NFL level, on the pro level. I have seen stuff like this at the high school level. It's really bad when they bring, the paramedics on the field of play. There were reports that allegedly trainers were performing CPR on Mr. Hamlin for a number of minutes as they were putting him into the vehicle. The NFL, the Cincinnati Bengals, and the Buffalo Bills, they have suspended the game, tonight's game. They have suspended the game, and everyone's just kind of waiting to see what's going on. Very, very serious injury, very scary, and we don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, it definitely was Damar. We're not sure what's going to happen. This is unprecedented at the national level, at the pro level. I've never seen anything like this NFL game, and we're not sure. What's going on. There have been no announcements as to the condition of Mr. Brother Damar. The NFL has been quiet. ESPN has been quiet. When the coaches were talking and the referees were talking on the field, they were covering their mouths, knowing that there were cameras on them. This doesn't look good, y'all. Again, I've never seen anything like it. Just based on the emotional response from the players on the field and based on the emotional response from the commentators in the studios back in New York and from the people on the field and from the audience, the crowd itself in Cincinnati. This game was taking place in Cincinnati. It's very scary. I fear the worst. I'm just be 100 with you. I absolutely fear the worst. Brother Primal Studies maybe had an underlying heart condition. We don't know. That's perhaps. And Brother Primal, if you wanted to jump on, I know you have some background in the medical field. It's not that you're a subject matter expert or anything like that, but if you have time, if you would like to jump on, and we can kind of chop this up, put this through to your think tank. I'm not going to be hitting any buttons on this, guys. This is very, very serious. But there are some stuff in the media right now, print media. CBS News they've already put out an article, so we can kind of read that, and I can just kind of tell everybody what looks to be going on here. I do have my television on, and they're just showing scenes from the field. Now, I will point out when the ambulance did leave the field and they had Brother Damar in the vehicle, they didn't have lights on. They weren't going. They weren't going hard out of there. They were going what we would call easy in the military. The military guys, like the dust off guys, the med guys, they were going easy when they pulled out of there. So like human biology, like anyone who's the link has been dropped. If anyone wants to pop in and maybe give their take on what's going on here, I'll read this article. This is from CBS News, it's NFL stuff, and this is Bills' Damar Hamlin suffers scary injury versus Bengals on Monday Night Football. Game temporarily suspended. The injury occurred during the first quarter of Monday night's game. Again, this just came out a couple minutes ago. A scary scene unfolded during the first quarter of Monday night's game between the Bills and Bengals. With 5 minutes and 58 seconds remaining in the first quarter, Bills safety Damar Hamlin was injured after tackling Bengals wideout T. Higgins. Hamlin initially stood up after making a tackle, but quickly fell back to the ground. And he did, and he fell on his back. Hamlin was receiving CPR from the medical staff on the field, according to ESPN. He was eventually placed on the stretcher and was given oxygen as he was taken off in an ambulance. The game was temporarily suspended after coaches Sean McDermott and Zach Taylor spoke on the field. Hamlin, 24, is in the middle of his third season with the Bills. He earned a spot in the Bills starting lineup this season after appearing in 14 games as a rookie. Hamlin played collegiately at Pitt, where he tallied 276 tackles and 6 interceptions. We will provide more information on Hamlin as soon as more news is available. There is been no news on his condition. I'm talking about brother Damar. The NFL has been very tight-lipped. ESPN has been very tight-lipped, and no one's going to rush to any kind of breaking news on this right here on this topic. You know what I mean? As the people are going to take their time, we're going to make sure that we get proper information. We're not going to speculate. But I will say that I fear the worst. Again, I've never seen anything like this, in my 52 years. I'm not going to lie to you. Definitely, this is definitely a very sad day for the NFL. Indeed, this is a very sad day for, anyone who plays contact sports or anyone who goes out here and competes at a high level. These things can happen. As a soldier, as a paratrooper, this is the kind of stuff we dealt with on a daily basis. This is what we signed up for. But as an athlete, anyone who football players and baseball players, F1 guys, I mean, they know the dangers, but football players don't normally think that something this horrific can happen. Again, I personally believe the worst may be the case here. It's simply because there is no information at all. And just judging, I'm basing this observation on what I saw on the field with the players on both sides, the looks in their eyes. They're on both sides. So this was definitely something, and if you guys, I'm pretty sure there's stuff on YouTube that's showing the hit. Like I said, it was a normal tackle. It wasn't like a very vicious hit at all. It wasn't like, leading with the helmet or anything like that. It was just, it seemed to be just a normal routine tackle. Again, Brother Damar got up. He kind of took a step and then he collapsed. I think this is something crazy. Dr. B, I've seen some athletes who have underlying heart diseases. Yes, you're going to hear that a lot. I have a heart murmur. When I enlisted in the United States Army, I had to get a special waiver because I have a heart murmur. It was a very, slight murmur, but it's detectable. And when I was 18 years old, when I enlisted in the United States Army, you have a heart murmur. And I had to go get a special waiver in order to be accepted into airborne training. If the doctor didn't give me the waiver, I wouldn't have enlisted. You know what I mean? So these things happen. It could be that. there was a NASCAR driver, and I forget his name. He wore the cowboy hat. I think his son is a very well-known NASCAR driver to this day, but he got into his car in a NASCAR race. He hit the wall, and it didn't look like a particularly vicious hit, especially when you're talking about NASCAR and you're talking about stuff like that. He hit this wall, and he didn't survive the crash. And anybody in the chat who could tell me who that is, I just can't think. Right now I just can't think of his name. But a very, very famous, legendary NASCAR driver, Dale Earnhardt. Thank you very much, brother. It was Dale Earnhardt who was lost in a crash that didn't particularly look that vicious. And this kind of reminds me of that. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm really concerned for Brother Damar and his family. It's not like I know him. I don't know the brother, but I feel for his family. I feel for his siblings. I feel for his teammates. So this is very, very, very serious. And this is definitely, irregardless of what happened, I hope Brother Damar is fine. I really do. I hope he, this is just, it's a normal thing, and he comes to and everything's good. But regardless, there's always that discussion about how violent football is. There's always that discussion about safety in that sport. We know it's a very vicious sport. Anyone who's ever played, they know what I'm talking about. Football hurts. Getting hit hurts. Hitting somebody hurts. Putting that hat on somebody, it hurts. There's people out there who've lost the use of their limbs, lost the use of their legs, lost use of their arms and legs from spinal injury, spinal injuries and things of that nature. So yeah, if you're a praying type person, this is definitely a time to do that. If you meditate, if you light candles, whatever it is you do, this young man and his family could use those prayers. I like I said, again, I think I fear the worst. Definitely check it out. I'm just kind of keeping one eye on my TV screen downstairs. It seems to be the same on ESPN. They're just reporting the game is temporarily suspended. They're not talking about the brother Damar's condition. They're not talking about that. And I'm just going to keep refreshing. I'm just going to keep refreshing the news feed here and see if anyone is. I don't see anything new here. It's still the same stuff. I'm not seeing anything new here. So if anyone out there, if definitely want to jump up on the stream, feel free. Sister Joanne, he's from my hometown, Pittsburgh. Yeah. We're Midwest up in here, man, for real. This is so sad. It is a tough sport. And again, we know what we sign up for. But this isn't one of those things. And then right away, people were talking about what the game's going to continue. I don't think this particular game should continue. The NFL has temporarily suspended the game. They should cancel the game, in my opinion. I would not ask those men to take that field and go out and play some more. Why? We're playing for what? Playoff spots. Both Buffalo and Cincinnati are guaranteed playoff spots. Why would we go back out there after something like this? What do we have to prove? We're not fighting for freedom. They're not out there trying to, set people free, right? They're not out there trying to stop tyranny. We're out there just competing. There's no need to go out there. There's no need to go out there and prove anything at this point. I would not ask those men to go back on that field. I would tell everybody in the stadium, I would refund their money if that's what it takes. I would give them free tickets for later on in next season, or playoff tickets or something like that. But I would send everybody home. Send everybody home, and maybe they can go home and pray, and maybe go home and be with their loved ones. You know what I mean? Yeah, you do hate to see this. Brother Sinker's in the house, man. You hate to see this. But this young brother, let's pull up his Wikipedia and look at what he's done with his life. Young man, 24 years of age, out there doing it, getting it, out there making it happen. So here it is right here. And it gives you a quick disclaimer. This article is about a person involved in a current event. So they want you to know up front that the information may not be 100% correct. Information may change rapidly as the event progresses, and initial news reports may be unreliable. Right, the latest update to this article may not reflect the most current information. Please feel free to improve this article, but note that updates without valid and reliable references will be removed or discuss changes on the talk page. So Damar Hamlin, and I'm not even going to make an attempt at his middle name. Yeah, you guys forgive me. I'm getting a lot of information in, so I'll be stopping and you'll see me looking at messages. People are hitting me up, trying to keep me informed as best they can. My cousin just sent me a TikTok. I'm not even going to look at that. There's probably something to do with, someone saying something or whatever. If someone else wants to check that, or if anybody catches any news or anything like that, please share with us. But brother Damar Hamlin, born March 24th, 1998, is an American football safety for the Buffalo Bills of the National Football League, the NFL. He played college football at Pittsburgh. In January 2023, during a Monday Night Football game against the Cincinnati Bengals, Hamlin collapsed on the field and was administered CPR. So someone has already updated this. It goes into his position. He's a safety. He's a defensive back. Personal information. He's 6 feet, he's 200 pounds. As Sister Joanna said, he went to Pittsburgh Central Catholic. Then he went to Pitt in college. Pittsburgh Central Catholic was high school, and he went to, Pittsburgh, played there. Looks like he played 4 years. And if he came out in the 2021 draft, he was a 6th-round pick. He was the 212th pick of that draft. And he's been at Buffalo his whole NFL career from 2021 until present. 93 tackles. He got 1.5 sacks. He's got 4 pass deflections and 1 forced fumble. He was on a good career. Definitely on a good career path. You know what I mean? Definitely on a good career path. This is so tragic. Again, the game, the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Buffalo Bills game, is temporarily suspended. That's still the official word. Still in the first quarter. I'm not even going to tell you the score because it doesn't matter. Some things are way more important than, the score of a game. Hamlin grew up in McKees Rock, Pennsylvania, and attended Pittsburgh Central Catholic School, high school. He was named first team All-State and the class quadruple A Defensive Player of the Year. His college career, Hamlin played in 3 games as a freshman before suffering an injury and being redshirting. So he got injured and he finished his rest of the year as a redshirt, which means he was able to salvage the majority of that eligibility. As a redshirt freshman, he recorded 41 tackles with 1 interception in 9 games played. Hamlin led the Panthers with 90 tackles and 2 interceptions as a redshirt sophomore and was named honorable mention All Atlantic Coast Conference. That's ACC. He had 84 tackles with 10 passes broken up as a redshirt junior. He was named a team captain going into his final season and was named second team All ACC after leading the team with 67 tackles and 7 passes broken up. One hell of a football player, according to these stats. Hamlin was drafted by the Buffalo Bills in the 6th round, 212th overall of the 2021 NFL Draft. He signed his 4-year rookie contract with Buffalo on May 21st, 2021. After playing reserve roles rookie season, Hamlin became one of the Bills' starting safeties in 2022 after Micah Hyde suffered a season-ending neck injury. So, right here, this is what most people who play this sport, who play football in the NFL, this is the biggest fear. You fear neck injuries. You fear, losing use of your legs or your arms or something like that, or suffering. And now everyone talks about CTE. You talk about these traumatic head injuries and how that affects you for the rest of your life. This is what people normally fear. And what's going on now is it's a step beyond that. It's definitely a step beyond that. So he was able to step up. And then it talks about the Monday Night Football collapse. We'll go over that one more time. On January 2nd, 2023, during the Week 17 game against the Cincinnati Bengals on Monday Night Football, Hamlin made a tackle on wide receiver T. Higgins. After the tackle, Hamlin got to his feet and then collapsed to the ground. A stretcher and ambulance came onto the field as most of the rosters on both teams came to the sidelines to kneel, came off the sidelines to kneel. Everyone was around. They surrounded the ambulance, and they surrounded the medical workers. A stretcher and ambulance came out to most of the rosters. The team came from the sidelines to kneel and stand around Hamlin, and they were praying. They were crying. They were very distraught. First responders administered CPR to Hamlin on the field. According to the announcer, Joe Buck, CPR was provided frantically for many minutes. He was transported to University of Cincinnati Athletic Health Center. The game is currently suspended. And that's where we are on that. There's no further information at this time. Brother Tim Effler, just saw what happened. Hate to see it. This is a violent game, and people wonder why players make as much as they do. This right here is why they're putting their lives on the line to entertain us. It's facts. Facts. These guys are very talented. These young men, they spend their entire life training and playing the sport and mastering this sport so they can get to the payoff. And he got to the payoff. Not sure what happened, but again, the NFL hasn't made any announcements, nor has there been any announcements as to his condition. I haven't seen any updates, any news briefs, any breaks. Again, I fear the worst. I don't think the NFL is going to make an announcement until they first talk to his family. You know what I mean? I don't think they're going to make an announcement until they discuss it with media. I'm pretty sure whatever's going on, they want to make sure that when they make the announcement, it is 100% factual. That's where I think this is going on right now. They're going to take their time. They're going to get it right. They want to make sure that everything is done that can possibly be done. I believe the players right now are being briefed on what's going on. They saw what was going on with their own eyes. They know what's going on. They know what's happening. I'm pretty sure there's going to be some leaks. Like my cousin sent me a TikTok. I'm not even going to look at it. I'm pretty sure there's something on the TikTok. It's probably someone out there who's a YouTuber or wants clicks and views that's going to jump out here and say all sorts of things. I don't want to say any of those things. I simply want to get the message out there, get the information out there, and let you guys go see it for yourselves. Again, if anybody comes across any information, please feel free to let me know, and we can work through it together. This could be one of those learning opportunities when we can sit there. This is social media. This is how it works now. It's no longer just what the media puts out or what the authorities put out. We have an opportunity here. We have this great, technological platform in which we can get information out and we can circulate stuff. But we need to take on that extra responsibility and be smart about what we put out there, being sure not to put out rumors and speculation. We want to make sure we get the story straight. We want to make sure we get the facts. But this is definitely, and if anyone out there is watching ESPN or watching any other news outlets, please keep me informed as to what is being reported. I have my television on mute. I can see it, and I can kind of read some of the text, but they're not flashing any text. They're just showing basically his background. They're telling what time he was injured and that he left the stadium in an ambulance, and they're telling what time Eastern, at 9:25 Eastern Standard Time, according to ESPN. Ben Staby or Saby, I can't read. I'm sorry, y'all, because my TV is, it's away from me. I don't believe they're going to continue this football game, and I don't think they should. You know what I mean? I don't think they should continue this football game. This is just horrific, yo. I mean, this is terrible. I mean, you really hate to see this sort of thing. Looks like they're packing everything up. They're taking all of the equipment from the sidelines and they're packing everything up. So to me, that looks like that's an indication that the players are not going to return to the field. I don't think they should be asked to play this game. I don't think they should be forced to play this game. I understand they get paid to do it, but this is something different. And again, I just want to reiterate, I do believe that this is very serious, and I fear the worst. After seeing this hit, seeing this again, it wasn't that bad, but seeing Brother Damar get up and then collapse. You know what I mean? Yeah, Muffin. Yeah, 85 on the opposite team. That's T. Higgins. T. Higgins is a receiver, is a wide receiver, and it was just running a simple, basic route. Joe Burrow threw the ball to T. Higgins. T. Higgins made the catch and was advancing the ball. He turned upfield, and that's where Brother Damar Hamlin made a tackle. It was a solid tackle. It wasn't anything out of the ordinary. It wasn't a vicious hit by any stretch of the imagination when you're talking about football. In fact, in the Ohio State-Georgia game, there was a vicious hit in that game on what is the name of the it is the son of a very famous NFL receiver. Actually, he's a junior, has the same name, Marvin something. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. Forgive me. He was in the back of the end zone trying to make a play on the ball when one of the DBs came up and made a hit on him. It was vicious. It put him out the game, but he was conscious. He was able to get back up. It's just the medical officials wouldn't allow him to finish the game. And someone to tell me his name, I'm sure we have some football people, but this was a college football game a day ago when that hit was vicious. What I saw tonight was just a normal tackle. It appeared to be just a normal tackle. It was a hit. It was an NFL hit, but it wasn't vicious and at all. It didn't appear to be. And again, Brother Damar Hamlin got up, and then he collapsed. And then that's when the rest of that began. This is definitely going to affect the NFL moving forward. I mean, there's been a lot of talk about changing the NFL. It's too violent, trying to figure out a way how we could play the game without the violence. But just keeping it 100, y'all, the violence is part of the game. Having big hits, I can't tell you how many times I had to get a good hit or got rocked on the football field, and that's the game. And they're trying to change that, and they have. They've put in these protocols. They've put in CTE stuff. They're really paying attention to head injuries and head trauma in the NFL. They're not getting it 100% every time. They're not. The quarterback Tua for Miami early in the season got hurt in a football game, and they allowed him to continue the game even though he was concussed, which isn't supposed to be a thing anymore. They allowed him to continue the game. They cleared him. He was cleared by all the medical people, even after the football game. And then later in the season, the Miami Dolphins were playing the Cincinnati Bengals. Same thing. He got a hit. One of those things where he was drugged down from behind and his head hit the turf real hard. Didn't get hit by another player per se, but they drug him down. It's kind of a whiplash effect. His head hit the turf, and right away you could tell it's almost like he was seizing up. His arms came up, and he was completely out of control of his limbs, and that shouldn't have happened. They've been talking about that all year long. They're going to continue to talk about it, and now this. So, yeah, they're still showing that the game is temporarily suspended. I don't think they're going to continue this game. I believe that this game is not going to be played anymore. I think the NFL is trying to come up with a way and trying to figure out how they're going to break the news on the condition of Damar Hamlin. That's my personal take on this. They're trying to figure it out. This is, this has never happened at the NFL level. You've never seen this at the NFL level. If, in fact, my suspicions are confirmed, and I feel they're worse in this instance, if that is, in fact, the case, the NFL is going to definitely take their time to break the news. They want to make sure they have the correct information. So, it's just what it is. Like Brother Tim was saying, They shouldn't go back to play. What they witnessed is traumatizing. And if I were there, I'd be calling my therapist. You know, a lot of times it starts with the people around you, bro. You start with your people around you, and then you bring the pros in. But I agree with you. I wouldn't go out there and play. I don't care. I won't go in and play, even if they say, oh, he's fine in the hospital and he's whatever. I still, at this point, I wouldn't go back out there. Your mind's not into it. You just can't. I hope Higgins wasn't scared by this. Praying for his mental too. I think Higgins will be fine. I mean, it's just, like I said, it was a routine play. It was a routine tackle. It was just routine. But, you know, it's part of it. And I'm not going to lie to you. If I were an NFL player today, bro, I'd be thinking about it. You know, you look at Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck was like a top-tier quarterback who played for for Indianapolis Colts, right? Andrew Luck was like the number one pick, I believe, in his draft. Came out, we played in Indiana for a while for the Colts. He was doing extremely well, and he walked away from the game. Why? Because of this type thing. He weighed it out. It's like, bro, it just isn't worth it. And he walked away. Walked away from millions, probably hundreds of millions of dollars. And this is why. What do I say on this platform all the time, man? All money ain't good money, man. You got to weigh it out. And don't get me wrong. If I was a 22-year-old, you know what I mean, athlete at the top of my game, yeah, I would love to be in the NFL. You kidding me? Making millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars, getting the clout, being able to party, got the fast cars and the faster women and all that. It's a great life. But this could happen. This could happen. And I ain't gonna lie to you, if I'm a DB, if I'm a receiver, if I'm a court, if I'm whatever, I'm looking at this. I'm like, man, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. If I'm sitting on 10, 15, $20 million, bro. And right now on ESPN, they're just showing footage from when this all occurred, and there's the players on the field. These dudes are hardcore dudes, and they're crying like children, man. This is on the field when they're watching the CPR, and then they're showing the scene where the ambulance is driving off. Again, it's driving off easy. It's not going fast. They don't have the lights on. And Brother Damar was in the back. They're driving off easy. Again, I feel the worst. Yeah, definitely this game is over. There's no way these guys are coming back. Absolutely no way they're coming back to play. They're packing up the gear. They're putting all the stuff. Buffalo is packing up their gear. And they're just showing Brother Damar's picture, and they got his bio up. I'm just looking down at ESPN. Brother Tim, I think it's part of the problem, in my opinion. We have normalized two men running into each other at full speed, and we have seen this too many times that we lose track of how serious these hits are. You're right. I mean, it's like a bloodlust, bro. Even the fans are leaving the stadium. I think even the fans understand that it's over. I think most people know. I think that people understand, like, and everyone fears the worst. Like, this is not good. This is the worst nightmare if you're a parent or a sibling or a loved one of Brother Damar, and you have to see this. This is just horrible. I've seen this kind of stuff in the streets, but I'm a warrior, man. I'm not a football player. This is not what you're supposed to be doing. Right? On the battlefield, you push forward because you see this sort of thing, but you're not supposed to. This is competition. Now, the only athletes out there that I can think of that understand this sort of thing and they understand this, paying this sort of price, would be the F1 drivers. F1 has to be one of, if not the most dangerous sport on the planet. F1 drivers get paid more than anybody. They are the highest paid athletes on the planet. Top 20 drivers on planet Earth. They are making money. But they risk their lives every time they strap into one of those vehicles, whenever they race. But they understand that. At one point, F1, I want to say within the past 20, 30 years, not that long ago, that every season in F1 or F2, someone would lose their life on the track. It doesn't happen as much anymore, but it still does. 2 or 3 seasons ago, an F2 driver lost his life on the track, whose cousin now drives for Ferrari. So an F2 driver lost his life on the track. And not this past year, but 2 seasons ago, there was a horrific crash in Dubai where the car blew up, just burst into flames, with Roman Grosjean in the car. And Roman Grosjean was able to escape, but he was burned pretty bad, but he was able to escape. That's F1. This is the NFL. You know, like this sort of thing. If what I think happened if the worst case scenario is true, this would be the first time in my knowledge that someone in NFL has paid the ultimate price to play this sport. Yeah, man. So dudes ain't died in the NFL since before the merger. I'm not saying he's dead, though. I fear the worst. I fear the worst. Players are out of their uniform. Yeah, they're not coming back. This game is over. Miss AKA team, yes. And boxing, too. Boxing's very dangerous, too. The pops in my mind is Koo Kim. You had the Koo Kim incident. Koo Kim was a heavyweight boxer fighting out of South Korea, and he lost his life in the ring. So, and again, that's head trauma. But the F1 drivers, like the Formula One drivers at the highest levels, it was every year they would lose a driver, at least one. And they still have these horrific accidents. Don't take my word for it. Go out there next time you're on YouTube, type in F1 crashes or something like that and see the type of accident. These cars get airborne. These cars come off the ground and flip around and come back, and land on each other. And the Roman Grosjean one was just horrific. And if you want to see it, you can watch on Netflix. I think it's called Drive to Survive or something like that. On F1, they have a reality show that's based on the F1 drivers. They actually follow them around for a season. So it's a really good show. But a couple seasons back, the Roman Grosjean incident was on there, and they show it. And then they talk to Roman. So, yeah, the game is suspended. The game is over. They're not playing. The game was officially suspended between the Buffalo Bills and the Cincinnati Bengals. I don't, the NFL will figure out what they want to do later, if they're going to make the game up or whatever they're going to do. At this point, it just does not matter. You know what I mean? Our thoughts and prayers should be with the family not just with the family of Damar Hamlin, but with Damar Hamlin and his family. I think is a better way to say it. And thank you. Yes, appreciate that. SN Rays, the game has ended. Thank you very much. I kind of looked down and I saw that. So if anyone want to jump up and have this, we can chop it up for a little bit about the hazards of professional sports. You look at bobsledders in the Olympics. Very, very dangerous sport. We talked about F1. We're talking about boxing. We're talking about football. Very, very dangerous. There's some other sports out there, but I think those are the top ones. You look at MMA, very, very dangerous, especially with the chokeholds and, they're striking with their elbows and knees and their head. You look at like Muay Thai. These are some very, very violent sports. Yes, absolutely. Pray for Damar and his family. Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't think the NFL is going to release anything. My personal take on this is they're going to take their time. And they're going to make sure they get it right. I don't think they're going to release anything anytime soon as far as making announcements as to the condition of brother Damar Hamlin. And out there in the chat, are you guys seeing anything on his condition, or has there been any statements? Because I'm not seeing anything. I'm not seeing anything at all as to his current condition. But this is bad. May 18, 2022, a German professional boxer tragically died after suffering a heart attack in the ring. Musa Yamak, 38. These things happen. You know what I mean? You push your body to its limits. You push your body. You know what I mean? And there was a college basketball player who had some sort of heart condition, and he passed on the court. And it wasn't to do with any drugs or anything like that. We know about the Len Bias story. First time he ever tried some narcotics or whatever, he died. But this guy, I want to say he played for Loyola Marymount out in California, I think. I can't remember his name, but he tragically lost his life on the court. But it was because of a condition that had gone untreated that, I guess no one knew about, and it cost him his life. These guys, they push themselves, these men and women. There are women out there that train hard for whatever sports they're in, be it soccer, basketball. You know what I mean? There are women in F1, not a lot, but there are women in F1. There are women Indy drivers, stock car drivers. You got Olympians, track and field, like I said, bobsledding. So there are women out there who push themselves as well. They push themselves hard. And this stuff is, game postponed. It's official now. ESPN's reporting it. The game is postponed, which I guess that means at some point they're going to have to reschedule or replay this game. I don't think the NFL is going to do it. I mean, this game does have playoff implications, but the Bills are in the playoff. They clinched the playoff spot, and so did Cincinnati prior to this game, so it doesn't matter. It was just a matter of what seed they would go. Listen, y'all, I would not be surprised if a lot of NFL guys walk away and not play any more football. I would not be surprised, bro. If the worst has occurred here, right? If Brother Damar does not survive this, I will not be surprised to read in tomorrow's newspaper or listen to ESPN talk about all of the NFL guys who have walked away from the sport. And I tell you what, I wouldn't be mad at them. All money ain't good money, people. Lady Novova, man, this is emotional. I said a prayer just now, just seeing this. We losing too many young ones. We are. Parents burying their seeds. I still haven't seen anything for Lady Novoa. I don't know if we lost him. I just fear the worst. Joanne said he's in critical condition. His mother was at the game. Okay, so we're getting reports, hopefully, that he is still with us. He's in critical condition. I ain't gonna lie to you, from where I'm standing, that would be great. That would be excellent news. Again, none of this is verified. None of this has been, so I'm not the news, y'all. I'm not a journalist, y'all. I don't have a network behind me where we can go out here and find out what's going on. I don't. Y'all are my network. So when you tell me something has been, the game has been called, I'm looking at it, we see it here. I'm going to continue to refresh my news feed. And this is terrible. Like, for real, man, we definitely need those prayers, y'all. We need those positive thoughts. We need that for Brother Damar and his family. We need that right now. I hope it is true that he's in critical condition. I hope that that's the case. We'll start there. But again, I fear the worst. You know what I mean? SSL, is there anything new that I had missed? I'm asking the same question. If you guys are getting any information, please share. Please just drop it in the chat. Just kind of share. See, Brother Tim reports are that he has a pulse but is not breathing on his own. That's very bad. That's very bad. And again, for those who are listening, these are unconfirmed reports. I want to stress this, y'all. I am not the DL Saint I Really Want to Know podcast is not a media outlet. I am not a trained journalist, nor do I have connections to trained journalists that are working with me right now. So we're just here together. We're coming together on this platform, and we're just here to share what news we can gather, and we're here to do what we can in the sense that we can pray and we can send out these good thoughts and we can have this conversation. So and it's crazy, Brother Smeebles. People in car stuff, they just announced Ken Block died in a snowmobile accident just now. Wow, that's horrific. Man, when it rains, it pours with bad news, doesn't it? And I don't know who Ken Block is, but I assume he's probably an extreme sports guy. That's another one too. Like the people who do the X Games, extreme sports stuff. The guys and girls on the dirt bikes doing the tricks. You know what I mean? Skateboarders doing the tricks, and they doing these, world record jumps and all that kind of stuff. The snowboarders, like the guys on the snowmobiles. This is just crazy. Yeah, Hank Gathers. Thanks, Nighters. That's what I was thinking about. It was Hank Gathers. Loyola Marymount basketball player Eric Hank Gathers, who died on the court after collapsing from a heart condition on March 4th, 1990. Thank you very much. I remember that. Hank Gathers was like a phenom. They were like, that guy was going to be not the next anybody. He was Hank Gathers. He was that great. And he had a heart condition. He was going to go to the NBA and do great things. And he lost his life on the court. He fell on the court. So, but thank you very much for that, Niners. I appreciate that. Later Novova, he alive, they gave him oxygen, and that's why just prayer dinking. I'm saying we don't need no more parents burying their babies. And tests will show if they look any. Tests will show if he took anything. So, but was it a play? It was the play. I don't think it had anything. It looked like it was the hit. You know what I mean? Again, it wasn't a vicious hit. It was just a normal tackles, the NFL tackles you see all day, every day on football. It was the hit. Yeah, I know earlier I was wearing my my Bengals jersey. I was wearing my Jamar Chase jersey for my previous stream. I took it off out of respect for brother Damar. I took it off. You know what I mean? Like, this is, I love the sport, but man, maybe it is too violent. Maybe it is something we do away with. I say this as an old man, but maybe it is time to go ahead and put that to bed and maybe find another sport. This is horrific. But yeah, there was reports that they were giving him oxygen as the ambulance drove off. Yeah, Joey, way to start 2023. Yeah, man, it's a sad way to start 2023, that's for sure. SSL says, I saw a doctor on YouTube say it was a cardiac arrest. That could be a possibility. Again, this is all speculation, guys. We don't know. You know what I mean? We won't know until the news breaks. We don't know. ESPN is covering it right now. ESPN is reporting that Damar is in critical condition at the hospital in Cincinnati. I'm just kind of reading that, and I don't have my glasses, so it's going to be hard for me to read because it's the bottom third. But, yeah, it looks like everyone was right. They have him listed in critical condition. University of Cincinnati Medical Center, I think they have a separate one, which is close to the stadium for this purpose. I know the main University of Cincinnati Medical Center is on campus at UC, and the campus is quite a bit. I mean, if you're going really fast and there's no traffic, you got the police with the lights on, you can probably get there within 5 minutes, maybe less, going from downtown Cincinnati to Clifton, which is where the medical center is located. But I think they built a special facility near the football field, which is downtown Cincinnati, for this purpose right here. So it could have been cardiac arrest. We'll find out. Then, there's definitely going to be some press conferences tonight about what's going on. People want to know. The NFL is definitely going to put that information out. You know what I mean? What made him collapse the play? We don't know. It looks like maybe if he did have some sort of cardiac arrest or some sort of thing, it would make sense. He made the tackle. He got up. He looked kind of dazed a little bit. He took a step and then he collapsed. So that would make sense. It would kind of jive with what I saw on the play. So I mean, that's what's kind of happened. What's good, fam? How are you? We're not good. We're sitting here talking about a young man who appears to be fighting for his life, a football player, Damar Hamlin, 24 years old. 24 years old. Fighting for his life. So, you know what I mean? We just ask that you guys, praise, good thoughts, whatever you can to, you know what I mean, just focus on this young man and his family. They can definitely use it. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, it's been 2 days, a whole bunch of people have already died. I mean, to live is to die. That's just how it is, man. We're people. SSL, we're people. It is what it is. You know what I mean? I've come to terms with my own death a long time ago, but here's the thing. I got kids. You know what I mean? I got loved ones. So when I think I want to live as long as I can, not for me, I want to be here for my daughter. You know what I mean? I want to be here for my loved ones, for my family members. You know what I mean? So, didn't Hamlin get ejected about a month ago for a ridiculous hard hit against the Pats? I don't know. I don't follow the Bills like that, and that could be. And that's their brother Ryan. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. And if I had some hardcore, I didn't even think about reaching out to my hardcore sports guys to ask them to be on the stream to kind of have that conversation. It's possible. We all agree that football is a very, very, very violent sport, and it is what it is. You know, praying for him in Mexico, praying for him here in Mexico. Appreciate that, brother Luis. Appreciate that. And I'm gonna wrap things up here, y'all. It's this is, I mean, it is what it is. You know, Leon, like, didn't know you were going live now. You and Black Man is live together. I'm going to end this, and I'm going to go jump on Black Man Unfiltered. If you guys want to jump over there, we're going to be talking about it, and he'll have more people on there who know more about the sport itself, and we can really get into that conversation, y'all. So I'm about to wrap things up here, and I'm going to run over to Black Man Unfiltered Network and chop it up with Black Man and see what they're talking about over there. So thank y'all so much for coming through here. And Lady Novoa, thank you so much, because I was thinking about that. So I'm going to go over there and check that out. Please come over to Black Man Unfiltered Network. Please come over there. And I'm going to join them over there in the conversation if I can. If not, I'll just be in the chat, supporting them. Fancy plans. NFL needs to do more. I know they are trying, but I get you. It might not be any more to do. I mean, honestly, it might be time to have that conversation. He may have to do away with the NFL. Let's all pray for him. And that was from Cat Ward. Absolutely. Last good man in Jersey. We forget how dangerous football is until we get an ugly reminder of this. Absolutely. Brother Smeebles, I've done 2 fights in Taekwondo, and both times before entering the fight, I said to myself, if I die, so be it, because I understand what can happen. Yeah, I mean, it's always in the back of your mind. When I play football, I'm not going to lie to you, I never thought I was going to die on the field, ever. But I was a young kid. When I was young, I was going to live forever. All my jumps, when I was a paratrooper, all my jumps, I never thought I was going to die on the jump. Never. Even on those jumps that went bad, I never thought I was going to die, ever. You know what I mean? But it just is what it is. Every mission I went on, every time I got deployed, I didn't think I would die. You know what I mean? You focus on the mission. These pro athletes, they focus on their jobs on the field. They focus on the responsibilities. They got a lot on their mind. The last thing they're thinking about is the possibility of dying. But yes, it's there. It's absolutely there. So it's crazy. Thank you, Lady Novoa, for dropping Black Man's link in there. I'm about to go over here to Black Man Unfiltered. The link's in the chat right now, guys. Hey, copy this link and come on over to Black Man Unfiltered's network. I'm gonna go over there and holler at these people. I really appreciate that, sis. Thanks for dropping that in there. You know what I mean? God bless him. Let him have a quick recovery. Yes, please. I hope that's, man, for those who pray and those who don't pray. It's times like this, man, where there's no such thing as an atheist, bro. I'll pray to any God who's listening. Please save this young man. 24-year-old young man. From all accounts, looks like a great guy. Great guy. Please save this young man. Please leave a comment on the live and help the guys the platform growing. Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, that's right. Like and subscribe. Thanks. I'm supposed to say that, but you know what? I'm just glad you guys are here with me, man. We can talk through this and we can get the word out and get more people praying for this young man and his family. I'm going to sub. I appreciate that. Bakam Zoo. I appreciate that. Thank you. I do a little bit of everything, but I try to do it right. If you don't agree with me, that's fine. I love it when people don't agree with me because it challenges my beliefs and I can become a better person. But I'm gonna tell you right now, man, this might be the time to look at football, and maybe we need to stop, especially if this young man pays the ultimate price for it. And Lady knows, she's like, I got you. Appreciate that. Still don't turn me blue with. I like it like this. I help out. That's what's up. I am gonna turn you blue. I am. I'm definitely I'm giving you a wrench, love. I'm gonna get that done the night before I go to bed. But thank y'all very much for hanging in there with me. Thank y'all so much for being there. So even when I need to talk, this is pretty cool, man. Like, therapy comes in many forms. And I ain't gonna lie to you, this is a form of therapy for me when I can come on here and I can interact with folks I know and folks I don't know and make new friends and make new connections, even though we haven't met in person. And that's one of the things that I try to do. And all my day ones, I'm gonna try my best to meet each and every one of them. And then everyone that come on my platform, I'm going to try my best to meet each and every one of you. You know what I mean? Because I just get down like that. I'm old school. So thank y'all so much. I'm going to run over to Black Man Unfiltered, and I'll be able to help them get some updates and stuff like that. So God bless all of y'all. I see Colonel Sanders just pop in the house, man. They say it's a cardiac arrest. Tragic for a young man. I hope he's still on life support. People, we don't know. Catch us over there on Black Man Unfiltered. We're gonna continue this conversation there. I'm DL Saint. This is DL Saint. I Really Want to Know podcast. I'll see you over there with Black Man. Peace. God bless all of y'all. Good night.